Ho, 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 a few days late, but hey guys, it's James from this show. You know it, you love it, mostly speaking Sentai. But that's not what we're doing today. How was your holidays? Let me know, did you kiss someone at New Year's, even though that's in a couple days? Listen to this. Then come back to me and say, hey, I did a kiss. It was beautiful. It was lovely. And oh, I got a little moist downstairs because you were in an unfinished basement. Finish the basement and it will be dry. You don't need to worry about leaks and cracks. It's good. But if that's the only place you have to make out because maybe you live with roommates or you're still living with your parents, you're like 17 making out, basement, unfinished or otherwise, the only place you can do that. But I digest the information I just gave you or the sausage I made this morning. Ho, 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 I eat sausage. Hui, hui, hui. Okay, guys. Today, what are we giving you? Yet again, another Patreon exclusive, which we've released 2. This will be the 3rd this month, and not a single person has signed up. It's strange, guys. Please sign up for the patreon.com/MLM pod, where you get beautiful exclusive things like what you're about to hear today. This existed. So, this was the one for December. I'm releasing it because it is Christmas themed. And it's a lovely episode. It's Lil Corey and I talking about Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever. A Lifetime movie. A fantastic movie, but you'll find out more of that. A couple things I do need to tell you before you listen to it. There are timestamps. We recorded this a few days after the Oxford High School shooting. It's in Michigan. It's close to home for Corey and I because we both are originally from Michigan. We talk about that and we get very serious about it. And then we also are like, well, I can't believe we're talking about this while discussing a meme movie about a cat who was an adorable on most angles. And then if you got it at the right angle, looked really grumpy. So that's something to be aware. In the description, there will be plotted out for the timestamps of that in case you don't want to hear us dive in serious and deep about a terrorist attack that happened at a high school this month. So that's to be aware of. But besides that, this existed. It's one of my favorite shows to do. I always play a game with Lil Corey, and then we dive into the movie. We go through reviews. We go through just amazing stuff. So please check this out. You're going to love it. Animal Crossing, that episode's coming out next week on the Patreon. There's an Animal Crossing movie. Oh my God. I know you want to check us out. Listen to that. Well, sign up for patreon.com/MLM pod. $5 a month. You get every single Friday a new podcast. It's either This Existed, the Toku Reading Corner, talking about Beyblade, Engaged with Nicolas Cage, or if there's 5 Fridays in a month, you'll get an extra little dose of either a watch-along or Should This Exist, kind of the sister show of This Existed, where Nicole and I watch a unsold pilot and we say, hey, should this have existed? We recently did Lowbrow Studios. They had 2 pilots. They did College University. I love them. That is also, even if you aren't a patron, you can go listen to that. I put that out as a Christmas gift for everyone to listen to. So right now you can go over to patreon.com/MLM pod and listen to that. Ooh, but if you're a friggin' $10 patron, you get exclusive watch-alongs for once a month, but the month of December I put out 4 of them, all Christmas specials. They're great. You got Frosty the Snowman, Frosty Returns, the first 20 minutes of the Santa Claus before it gets fantastical and kind of loses my attention a little bit, and Snow Day, School's Closed and I Can't Wait. That movie's fucking great, guys. Go check that out. But you also get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast, so we about to get into that. Ooh-wee! I gotta stop doing the ooh-wee thing. It's something I clamored on to that Howard Kramer Dragon Boy Suede does, so I gotta stop. But first up, we have Steve F. Next, we have Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour. Alex Z, the Waz. Orion, he's a rapper. Defo, D-F-O. Kayla, a.k.a. 2 Grapes. Tyler Wright, he's our friend. Ha 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 ha! Elliot W. at Garlic Sunshine for their amazing artwork. Jordan B. the Chaos Witch. Nicole's brother, a.k.a. my Bickle, my brother in common law, Joshua. And Steve Barnes, a.k.a. Intro Void. Follow him on Spotify, Instagram, and Substack. Intro Void. It's so scary. So, without further ado, Sville, let's get into the goddamn episode. See, guys, this existed. Ha
For my Christmas wish, I wish I'd meet a friend, one on whom I can depend.
So, me? You really screwed up your big wish.
Okay.
For anyone that loves Christmas stories about
Here we go.
goodwill,
I don't care.
joy,
No.
and peace to all,
Fail.
then
You are a loser.
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. Look at my face.
this Christmas,
You were talking to me.
What are you, some kind of blonde witch?
I heard all of that.
Stop it.
You stop it.
You stop it, witch.
when it comes to the holiday spirit,
Don't get sappy on me. Wait, I forgot. It's a Lifetime movie.
all pets are off.
Dude, grab that cat.
Puppy, no!
Die, bad guys! They don't even make paintball guns for cats. Get out of here, British grumpy cat.
Aubrey Plaza brings the internet sensation to
This
life.
is the best Christmas ever.
Go ahead, ignore the title of my movie.
Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever.
Jingle bells, Christmas smells.
Saturday, November 29th at 8 on Lifetime.
Meow, meow, meow. It's the happy holidays, guys. My name is James.
Love Corey.
Oh, and we're not grumpy today. We're merry as all can be loose because we're talking about a beautiful movie, but we'll get into that later. Lil Corey, how are you?
I'm sad.
Why?
Oh, it's been a hard work week. I'm feeling pretty grumpy over here.
Oh, you're the grumpy one. Okay.
I'm grump.
I did tell you, like, I knew what was going on because, you know, like, Nicole had a stressful work week, and that's how I am computing with, you know, stress levels. But I was going to make a joke of, like, but, you know, I work for myself, whatnot. Actually, you know, I've had a pretty stressful work week because of one person.
I'm sorry.
Actually, it's because of multiple people. Whoever does Nicole's schedule is just shitting the bed. And
Right.
is waiting until, like, oh, there aren't any days left. Oh, I need to schedule another week, which is illegal.
That's pretty illegal, yeah.
Yeah.
You should remind them of that.
Yeah, which is, I'm pretty sure because they're, like, switching managers. The last manager put in their resignation, getting a new manager. So hopefully it won't stay like that. Because it used to be like, oh, 2 weeks before the new month, the next month was all set.
Oh, yeah. So, it's Chicago law. Hello, we're in Chicago.
Yeah.
That you have to have the work week schedule out 2 weeks in advance, right?
I just knew at minimum you can't do it 24 hours in advance,
Right, okay.
knowing your schedule.
Also, I gotta apologize. This is a little behind the screen action. We rescheduled this recording like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Because my wife decided on the day that we were supposed to schedule to take a shit multiple times. So the first time we had to record, I had to wait for the gas people to show up, and then they didn't show up forever. And like I had to be there, and I had to stay there. Otherwise, they were going to turn off my gas.
What?
Yes, because it was the 3-year safety inspection thing, I guess.
Oh.
So they were like, yeah, if we can't check on it, then who knows? It might blow up someday, and then we just don't want to take that risk, so we'll turn off the gas.
I lived at my last place for 5 years. I don't think they ever did that.
Did you have People's Gas, though? Mine's with People's Gas.
Yes, I do as well.
Then what the fuck?
Oh, maybe it's because maybe you had an older building or something. I don't know. Or because are you with a management company?
No.
Oh, that might be it. Maybe the management company just does it on their own and is like,
Oh, that could be.
we go in there with the peoples of the gas. Speaking of which, I was watching this movie today and I get like, there's a buzz. So I just like let them in. Usually it's FedEx, but then I like hear a very timid knock on the door. I was like, was that even a knock? But like Socks perked up and was like, huh? I say like, hello. And making sure it was like ICM or something, because no one was supposed to be showing up, but maybe it was a neighbor saying like, hey, the movie in which you're watching is too amazing. I need to watch it. I open it up and they're like, I'm from iSolar or some shit like that. Trying to say like, hey, ComEd was supposed to and does now use green energy. You haven't responded to letters saying if you want to sign up for this and get this credit, I need to mark you down as like you are aware of this and whatnot. And I was like, what? Okay, well, what information do you need? How can you just email this? And he was like, no, it's through a letter. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen letters in which they ask about getting on a cleaner source. And I just like say like, just do that. Okay. And then he was like, yeah, I just need your account number to make sure like I'm speaking. I was like, okay. And then like I went and grabbed it and I came back and read like the first digit. I was like, actually, you want to know what? I don't feel comfortable doing this. You haven't shown me any reason besides like you having a book and showing like information that I could receive from ComEd and credits I could be getting. I feel like this is fishy. I apologize. Send me another letter and I'll get back to you. And he's like, well, we've already sent letters. And I was like, hey, send another one if you're fine with sending letters.
Right.
Because he didn't say my name. He wasn't like, hey, can I confirm you are so-and-so and then confirm now your account? No, he just knocked on my door and he was like, this is weird that you're the first person to ever like turn me down. And Nicole afterwards was like, what were you supposed to do with that information? Like him saying, oh, this is the first time this has ever happened. Okay, well, there's a first for everything, I guess.
I mean, it's not unreasonable or out of the blue to think that giving out your account information is, strenuous or like a risky activity, especially to someone who's just showing up at your door. So that definitely seems like someone just fishing for information.
Yeah, and I've heard people doing that. Or heard of people doing that. So I was like, no, I should not need to give you my account number for this. You should already have that in there. It should just be like, hey,
especially if they're showing up at your door, they definitely would have your account number.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just is. I was like, oh, this is a situation where this should just be something I need to just sign, or you sent, because he was like, yeah, I just need to verify this and then I'll send you an email and then you do. And it's like, then just send me the email.
Right.
So I even Googled like iSolar. I think that's what it was called. I don't know. And at least ComEd doesn't have any information about this. I'll message them and be like, hey, it was this fishy. Should you be alerted to this?
Yeah, and as someone who's worked for a place similar to ComEd, we're actually able to figure out if we have any programs like that going on or any credits that should be receiving, or if there's people walking around trying to fish.
Yeah,
for info.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember at Vivid there was a time where the state level FBI was involved in a case of someone saying, hey, I'll meet you at our location, Vivid Seats, at this address, and you'll pick up your tickets there. And it was just someone who was completely unaffiliated with us selling fraudulent tickets on Craigslist.
Yikes. Wow.
So the FBI had to like team up with someone at the company to take this person down.
Did they do it?
I believe they did. This I'm positive was before your time because you were never at the old location, were you?
Definitely was never at the old location.
Okay, yeah. It was at that place.
Heard.
It's strange how the FBI will allow that to, not allow that to happen, but is completely fine with Vivid Seats existing.
Secondary marketplace. It's legal.
Hey, it's legal, but hey, guys, it's not moral. Speaking of that, have you heard, are you up to date on that school shooting? Hey guys, trigger warning. This has just like been on my mind all day. The school shooting that happened in Michigan.
I only just heard about it. I was looking at it on my 10-minute break, so I didn't have time to actually go to a deep dive. Hit me with it.
So this kid, 15-year-old, dad bought a handgun last week. He gets it, goes to school, shoots and hits, I think, minimum 15 people. 4 of them have not, well, 3 yesterday died, like on the scene, I believe. And then 1 died today, I think, from injuries. And then like 3 are in critical condition. And it's just any teenager, if you are listening to this and you want to, if you're like, hey, I want to like watch this institution burn down because they do not give a shit about our safety. They, in quotes, give about your safety, but they truly don't. I'm all for it. I am so, what's the word? I'm looking forward to how Gen Z and the newer generation than them is going to start handling politics, because it's to think like you're kind of on the tail end of it. Like school shootings were on the rise. Did you have to do active shooter drills?
I never did active shooter drills. No. Well, you know what? We had lockdown drills.
Yes.
Yeah. So those drills where they like turn off the lights and they close the door and everyone just has to sit quietly for a few minutes.
But
I had those. I don't know if they were active shooter drills, or if they were, they didn't tell us they were active shooter drills.
So I think that was the situation back then where like, hey, it's kind of on the rise, but we'll just tell them, hey, there's like a bank robbery that happened right near us, or a robbery in general that happened. We do need to lock down in case they come take people hostage. Who's the best hostages to take? I guess not children, because law enforcement and the government seem to not give a shit about them. But
that is, yeah. Oh my God.
I know a few kids were planning on, protesting on count day, not showing up. I think truly every child in the world who is cognizant enough to be like, oh, this day I don't show up, awesome. I think they should.
I agree, especially on count day.
Yeah. Do that threat, and then money speaks in America, the United States of America.
Absolutely. So hit them where it hurts. You want to have a protest that'll make them listen. Do it on the day that's most important for their funding.
Yeah. But then that's to the point where it's like, well, that doesn't actually, I don't think that would help, because in the sense that the government would then be saving money, the people making the laws would be saving money because funding doesn't go to them.
Well, that much is true, but the government doesn't listen to kids. Right? They think that they don't know anything or know any better when it's their lives at stake.
Oh.
At this point, we have to force the adults to amplify the youth's voice, and adults in the have usually the same mindset as the government and the officials. So they just kind of shut down. I have yet to have any sort of protests that happened at any of the schools I attended actually be taken seriously by the faculty. So hopefully something like not showing up or doing a walkout on count day will actually get faculty members to actually understand how important these issues are before someone shows up with a gun.
Yeah. Here's what I think would happen. Children have to say, hey, this day we are planning on just straight up not showing up for count day. It's a month before. Teachers, we would like to see you strike for an entire month until we get. So I think that would, because then parents would all of a sudden be like, we have to watch our children, because it's so like it's so fucked up. Because I'm so sorry, we're talking about a meme Lifetime movie today, and we're talking about this. Where was my train of thought?
It's so fucked up.
Yes.
Parents have to watch their kids.
That the pandemic happened and children were, in a sense, like the safest, at least during their school period, that they ever have been. Like,
Right,
yeah,
because they didn't have to worry about someone coming up for notoriety on their kill count.
yeah. I mean, like, people will then come at us and be like, well, the pandemic fucked up kids' mentality. Yes, I do understand that as well. But luckily, the entire world was going through that, not just like children in a classroom as sardines, like they are fish in a bucket for just stray bullets to be hit, and it's fucked up.
It's super sad that what is it? Activists have to make a back to school based like little propaganda video that they would play for commercials, where the commercial is like a back to school get your supplies commercial, like you would see Target or something do.
Mm-hmm.
But like throughout the video, it just slowly gets dark. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
The one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's so sad that is like the extent that we're going to try to show exactly how serious of an issue this is. And I don't know. I like the dialogue finally got started, like I feel like back when the tragedy at Sandy Hook happened, but I still don't understand how it's been this long. We've had this many more occurrences and tragedies happen, and still no one is looking for any sort of reformation or change, at least into the effect of who is able to get their hands on these weapons.
Yeah. Also, like, if children in the single digit age being shot and murdered didn't fast track this, or like make people say like this needs to be corrected in whatever way we need to do it, this is now also a pandemic. I truly believe nothing is going to. Hey, we don't get an abortion because we care about life. No, you don't. You don't.
You don't.
So there, you guys. But speaking of children being scared by maniacs and running for their life, that is a plot line within Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever.
Welcome to the real content.
Sorry, people. That was on my mind today. A dude showing up at my door trying to scam me potentially, and children being murdered.
And you know what's even worse is that they allude to that in this. Or like at least allude to darker tragedy that could have happened in this movie.
That's one of the most memorable lines from this is Grumpy Cat, and I quote saying, "That's a different kind of Lifetime movie, Mom." But
this movie was okay. Yeah, no, go ahead. I'll get into all of that later.
Oh no, I was going to ask you, what'd you think of it? Just initial thoughts.
This movie one was a little too self-aware.
Oh yeah.
But like all in all, it was like a slow burn for me almost. Like at the beginning, I kind of like was like, okay, I better buckle in for a long one. But like as it kind of like had this snowball effect of me like kind of slowly liking it more and more as the movie went on. And I had, I think one thing that additionally helped was that I got to watch it with Jay.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we got to experience this together. And there were a few moments where we actually had like genuine laughter through this, which I'm not going to lie, I wasn't expecting from Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, a Lifetime movie.
Hell yeah, dude. So my experience with this is this was released for its first broadcast at 8 p.m. on November 29th, 2014, which means I pirated this on November 30th, 2013, or 14, I mean, because Nicole and I were like, let's watch this. It'll be like funny. It'll be a lark. But now we earnestly love this movie so much so, Lil Corey. As you can see, I've owned this on DVD since it was released on DVD, and I own the plushie of Grumpy Cat in a Santa Claus hat saying, "Bah humbug," looking so adorable.
I'm glad that you picked up the merchandise that it continuously tried to chill out through
Hell
the
yeah,
movie.
dude.
Hell yeah, dude. So unapologetic.
I love this movie. It's fucking great.
It was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It was, like I said, it was very self-aware. At multiple points does it reference itself as a movie. And not only that, but also try to sell merchandise throughout it. But it's so unapologetic about it, so self-aware, and leans into its own jokes so much that it somehow made me forgive it about halfway through.
Yes, dude.
And I think I like it more, even especially since it's it's the real Grumpy Cat, and two,
Oh my God.
the fact that someone who just decided to take a picture of their cat who happens to have the exact facial features to form a permanent grumpy face on it, and probably made a good amount of money off of all of this.
Oh, and it's still making, I believe the comic is still in rotation.
Oh, they have a comic.
Yeah, Nicole owns most of them. I don't think she also, a little fun fact, this isn't even in notes, I just know it because I've read it. There is a Grumpy Cat meets Garfield.
Really?
Yeah, it's a comic series. I believe it's a mini series, probably like 5 issues or something.
I love that. I love that for Grumpy Cat and her owners.
Hell yeah, dude. But speaking of them just like making this meme, Lil Corey, it is time for Remember My Name. Oh, it's another game coming out, baby.
Wow.
Lil
I'm
Corey,
excited.
everyone knows memes, but what you probably
Everyone.
don't know is those templates have names. All meme templates have names. So today we are going to be doing a multiple choice game of chance, even unless you know exactly what these are, of different meme templates. Now, listeners, I will post these. So you'll be able to go 1 through 7. I think that's what we have. Yes, 1 through 7. Lil Corey, I sent you these photos. Just scroll up to the first one and we're going to start playing.
Sounds good.
Describe it for the people.
It's Pepe with what seems to be an oxygen tank upon his face crying.
All right, so is this titled A, Enthusianasia, B, Copium, or C, Take the Pain Away?
I'm leaning either B or C, and I think I'm gonna go with B, Copium.
Lil Corey, you're correct, and I forgot to tell you, today you're playing for, let's see, what's around the apartment? Envelopes from the P.O. box that are addressed to a different person.
I'm stealing mail.
Yeah, baby. So if you win, you get to commit a felony.
I love that for myself.
All right, the second one. Explain what's going on there.
It is I suppose you would describe them. It's that cute girl with the black Gen Z hair with the choker on and the black sweater, and she's blushing.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I don't call them chokers. I call them... James, don't start the joke if you don't know the punchline. I call them...
You're making a classic Corey blunder.
An orgasm maximizer.
That was great. Good job.
Orgasm maximus. I don't know, guys. All right. Do you think this is A, Doomer Girl, B, Goth Blush, or C, The Perfect Woman, or D, Orgasm Intensified?
I would love to say D, but I'm pretty sure it's A, Doomer Girl.
Lil Corey, you're one step closer to committing mail fraud.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right. The third one. Explain what's going on.
It's Elmo in hell.
All right. Do you think Elmo in Hell is A, Elmo Rise, B, Sesame is Burning, or C, Helmo?
I want it to be Helmo, but I'm gonna go... I'm locking in Helmo, actually.
You're saying C, Helmo?
C, Helmo.
What's your second guess?
My second.
I just want to know your second guess.
My second guess is Elmo and Rise.
Well, little Corey, you should have locked that in because you didn't get it. It was Elmo Rise.
I knew it. I just wanted it to be Elmo so bad.
Also, like, Sesame is Burning is way too artsy for a meme.
Yeah.
It was me writing a play on Paris is Burning.
I don't even understand that one.
Guys, Google it, baby.
Google it.
Or listen to the This Movie's Gay episode discussing it.
Do that one instead.
Yeah. Now, describe the fourth one for me.
The fourth one is on the left side of the meme, we have a cat with a handsome smile. And on the right side of the meme, that same cat is now making an impossibly large O face.
Oh, it probably has. Oh, it does have a collar on?
No.
Oh, it doesn't have that orgasm intensifier.
I don't like that you said that for a cat.
Who's the sexiest cat like cartoon cat you've ever seen? Anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic, so not a cat girl.
Yeah.
Okay. The sexiest cartoon cat I've ever seen.
Is Renamon a cat, or would you classify that more as a dog or a fox?
I think that's more so a fox,
okay.
I want to say. Jay's staring at me, and I feel like I have to choose my answer carefully.
Someone posted like a very hot picture of like kind of a bear in like the gay community version of Garfield, and he was looking nice.
I don't like that. I want to move on immediately.
Explain to Jay what I just said.
James said someone recently posted a bear version of Garfield. Bear as in the gay community terminology of a bear, but for Garfield. And I don't like that imagery. He's going to send us the picture.
I'll find it right now. But do you think this one is...
Wait, I didn't get to answer my question.
Oh, what question?
The sexiest cat is Anka from Animal Crossing.
Okay, all right. Hell yeah, man.
That is the...
But do you think this one is A, PogChamp, B, Happy Cat, or C, Pop Cat?
I'm going to go with PogChamp because I don't see the other ones as being meme names.
Lil Corey, do you not want to commit a felony? Because this was Pop Cat.
I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
Because he goes...
Oh, I guess. I just feel like it's more associated with someone having a player of the game moment.
Man, the person that I know posted retweeted this. Garfield posts a lot of sexy characters.
I'm not interested.
Well, guess what? You're gonna find them. You're going to find them. Is that no? He that's not the one. This person's posting a lot of Garfield. I did it. Garfield in the bear community is popping off, guys. Is Garfield a gay icon now? You better fucking believe it. Watch out, Babadook.
Remember when the Babadook? Oh my God.
Okay, well, let's get on to the next one. Can you explain what's happening to the listeners?
There's a super buff Doge on the left and a super normal Doge on the right, maybe wincing.
Hell yeah, dude. There are so many. So I'm just going to send this one to you, Lil Corey.
Are you talking about gay Garfield again?
Well, there's nothing like sexual about him unless like you are like looking like he's doing
but I know that the intent is there.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like it.
Garfield's hot as hell.
It's Garfield saying big stretch, leaning back on the couch. He's anthropomorphized and wearing a tank top that's a little bit too small for him and some big old gray sweatpants.
Oh, yeah, baby.
With a heart coming out of his armpit, which are hairy.
And a hard-on coming out of his asshole.
I'm moving on from sexy Garfield.
Okay. Do you think this last one is A, Doggy and Goliath, B, the spectrum of Doge, or C, Swole Doge and Cheems?
I want to say Swole, Doge, and Cheems.
You locking that in?
I'm locking it in.
Lil Corey, you're one step away from committing mail fraud.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
All right, describe the 6-1 to our listeners.
It's Tom from Tom and Jerry, but he looks concerned.
All right, is this A, strung out Tom, B, unsettled Tom, or C, what that cat do?
Unsettled Tom.
Lil Corey, the next one, you're just playing for another envelope because you're correct.
Yes.
All right, this last one, describe it, baby.
It's a nerdy boy with a bald fade and like swoop back brown hair, kind of like an opposite of Doomer Girl.
Hell yeah. Is this A, Zoomer Wojak, B, Woke Bobby Hill, or C, Corey King?
Fuck you. I don't like this game anymore. Zoomer, I'm gonna say.
Lil Corey, 5 out of 7, dude.
Heck yeah, give me that mail fraud, baby.
Ooh, baby, the friggin'
government can't stop me.
The Postmaster General is coming for that ass. Well, Garfield will be coming inside of that ass.
Moving on.
Lil Corey, let's get into some reviews and trivia about this movie. First, Grumpy Cat was born tartar sauce on April 4th, 2012 in Morristown, Arizona. The film was created to showcase tartar sauce, the subject of the internet meme, which first appeared in 2012. Grumpy Cat was like 4 months old before she jettisoned into popularity. By the end of 2013, the company which manages Grumpy Cat's image was valued around $1 million.
Makes sense. We were all about Grumpy Cat for a while.
Mm-hmm. Man, Grumpy Cat is so beautiful. Those big blue eyes. Dwarfism makes her super cute.
Yeah, honestly, Grumpy Cat's adorable as fuck.
Yeah. It's like, at certain angles, all cats will look grumpy. But when you like rotate the camera down and look at Grumpy Cat dead on, the most beautiful cat you will ever see.
I agree.
Director Tim Hill, also the co-writer, also created Action League Now, wrote on Rocko's and SpongeBob, and also directed Max Keeble's Big Move. He also wrote 100 Deeds of Eddie McDowd, a show that existed for sure, and will eventually, when it comes on Paramount Plus, we will be reviewing. I like, these are Aubrey Plaza trivias. Lil Corey, are you still
Perfect.
there? Okay, cool.
I'm still here.
When Plaza was cast to perform Grumpy Cat's voice, she was initially unfamiliar with it, but learned about the cat before production. The film was shot in its entirety before Plaza recorded any of her lines. She redrafted around 90% of her dialogue, explaining, "Once I realized that the cat's mouth wasn't going to move, I just kind of went for it and thought, well, if this is just going to be cut to the cat and I say my lines, then I can just comment on other things too." The movie kind of has a Mystery Science Theater 3000 vibe to it, so it's like you're getting Grumpy's commentary throughout the whole thing, and then Grumpy Cat is also starring in the story. So she kind of just like ad-libbed and improv'd it because that's what her background's in.
I love it. And that's I'm glad that they allowed her to do that because I feel like Aubrey Plaza just really shines in that environment.
Now, on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Aubrey Plaza stated the film did not make any sense to her and jokingly preferred to watch the film while intoxicated.
That's fair. You know what? I get it.
And when this did premiere, it was watched by 1.7 million viewers.
That's not bad, I feel like.
For basic cable, Or not
Yeah.
even bait. I feel like this is a little deeper into
Yeah, well-
cable.
Yeah, Lifetime's a premium channel, I'm pretty sure.
Also, anyone looking to watch this, it is currently on Vudu and Amazon
Yes.
for 99 cents. But I just found this out today because Grumpy Cat's Twitter posted about it. It is now on Discovery Plus to stream.
Nice.
Hell yeah, but let's get into reviews, baby.
Let's go. Be gentle.
This is a 5-star review from the day this movie was released on Letterboxd. This is from
Wow.
Mike McCabe saying, Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever is an aesthetically and thematically beautiful love letter to exploration and, ironically, love. On the surface, it's a movie about a cat, but look an inch deeper and you'll find a bevy of emotional weight. What Aubrey Plaza brings to the table is heartbreaking, heartwarming, however much that sounds like a paradox, and the actress who plays the owner helps bring the genuine owner-pet relationship full circle.
All right, I think you were fluffing it a bit much there, but okay, cool.
Nah, I 100% agree with this. I gave this on Letterboxd 5 stars. Give me a follow. I think it's Marshland Monster or Marshland Mullum. Figure it out.
Figure it out.
I do want people to follow me on there just so, like, that's the most social I am on social media is just rating the movies I'm currently watching. So if you do follow me, and then you can just hit me up and be like, hey, James, I watched that too, and then we can discuss it. Next is from Cole Turner on 2019. They gave this a half a star saying, your life is at an all-time low when you watch films like this. Hey, Cole Turner, I hope you turn into a fucking brick wall full speed.
What? Oh, I get it. Okay, that was funny. Harsh, but funny.
Next is Ryan D. 2020, mid-pandemic, rated this just a half a star, saying, there's a cutaway gag where Grumpy Cat receives the lethal injection.
Yeah, that's true. that was a little bizarre.
I fucking love this. But Ryan D? How about you, Ryan? Wait, how about you?
D's nuts.
Try
Is that where you're
and
going?
or Ryan D?
You
How
got
about
it.
you try on D's nuts? Slapping on your chin, bitch.
Yeah, you got there on the third try. Good job.
And then the last review is from the AV Club, and I really want to tear them a new asshole, so I do need to quickly pull this up because my Nicole's printer stopped working, so I had to send this to myself. The AV Club and Entertainment Weekly both panned the film. The AV Club called it, in quotes, the largest turd in Lifetime's crap crown of original programming. So unforgiving, so psychologically trying that the process alone leaves the viewer straining to hear the dialogue over the sound of the soul being crushed wholesale, bone and sinew, or bone, I don't know what that word is.
Sinew.
Wrenched apart at the joint. To that I say, have you seen any other fucking, especially Christmas Lifetime movie? Nicole throws them on to like just have in the background and have a laugh at. We watched one, I think it's Hallmark though. Shoot me if I'm right.
It's probably Hallmark. Come on.
It is called A Dog Walker's Christmas, and it was so fucking bad. And I have to, because I threw my back out, so I've been having to like take weed to go to sleep. So I like did some weed, and it was like the movie got in, and maybe 5 minutes in, I started like, oh my God, I'm high. It became one of the funniest movies ever, but it's because I was high.
Is it about a blonde/brunette small town girl breaking up with her rich corporate exec of a husband because the small town hunk taught her the true meaning of Christmas?
No, most of them are like that. I've seen many like that. However, this one's even less original. It is a woman in college, late college. Oh, she just doesn't have time for boys right now because her most recent boyfriend, I think she's so enamored with school. He was like, oh, I didn't know we were dating. No. So then she meets a like vet at a dog park, but the dog park is being bought by the girl's rich neighbors who are going to turn it into condos. This is in every fucking movie of
Literally
now
every movie.
Now we need to save the community center, the community beacon that everyone goes to. Even I think the Dolly Parton Christmas special had this, like the orphanage was going to be, maybe she was doing this as like tongue in cheek of like, this is what all Christmas shit's about, guys. I don't know, but yeah, A Dog Walker's Christmas. If you're like nice and high, watch that movie. But speaking of movies, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
I do wonder if this is on Lifetime Movie Network's annual during Christmas. Like, hey, we got to at least show it once. I hope so. Most of my notes for this, Lil Corey, are truly just me screaming at how cute and beautiful
Grumpy Cat is.
Yeah.
As he said that, I'm stuck looking at fucking Hot Garfield's belly button.
Grumpy Cat's beautiful. That pic of
How
Garfield.
do I delete things from the internet?
Sexy as hell. I think you can remove stuff from your Discord. So Grumpy Cat is in this pet store in a mall, and this pet store is kind of on hard times. It's going to be shut down unless they make a bunch of money again. A common thread in these types of movies. But Grumpy Cat's introducing and saying like, hey, fuck all these other pets. I'm the coolest. And they're like, dude, you've been returned twice, which Socks was returned twice, which is why he was very skittish and still kind of is, because he's like, maybe they're going to return me. And it's like, nah, dude, he's now just like sitting on my lap and falling asleep. I love it.
Poor baby. I'm glad he's having a nice family.
But man, dude, you go with your notes because mine are all over the place and mainly just quotes.
I love the dog's voice.
Yes.
The dog's voice is my favorite. It's someone trying very hard to be like a Hills male model.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I'm glad that they kept that voice actor for that dog. That is all. Yeah, the dog that I'm referring to is like the crown jewel of like what's going to save the pet store, because this dog, it's like, what is it, like a Burmese mountain dog or something?
I don't know. All I know is it's $1 million.
Yeah, which first off, no, it's not.
No.
Second off, I love the dog anyways. So, yeah, they're trying to sell it to some rich owner because someone's going to pay $1 million for it.
Nicole did say, like, if you have $1 million dog, one, you wouldn't keep it there, and two, you would absolutely have insurance out on it.
Absolutely.
This is a random quote because it's in, like, Grumpy Cat sometimes breaks the fourth wall and, like, says, like, here's how it should happen. There is a scene, and just out of context, Grumpy Cat says, "You're welcome, police."
Yikes.
I liked that.
There's what was it? They like introduce the security guard.
Yeah.
Which, spoiler alert, I knew it. I knew the security guard was a bad guy. The second I saw him, I was like, there's my villain.
He when he's finally gets arrested at the end, he's like, "Oh no, guys, I'm one of you. I'm a law enforcement too." And it's like, yeah, because you're corrupt as fuck, bro.
Hell yeah, get him, James.
Yeah. This movie is, like, would you agree, in the upper echelon of these sorts of holiday movies?
I would agree so, because I've seen the rest of these Hallmark-esque like holiday movies, and they all are the same movie. This one at least is different-ish.
So let's explain. So we got one of the plot points, which is pet store owner. He's on bad times. We also have a sad girl who doesn't have friends. Her mom works at the mall, and her mom is thinking about dating again this elf who works there. He plays an elf at Santa's workshop. And then they're like, hey, we're going to go to this party. That kind of sets things in motions until the girl goes, she sees Grumpy Cat, and she can hear Grumpy Cat talk. No one else can, but she's like, Aubrey Plaza from Park and Rec and Mystery Team starring Donald Glover? What?
Don't forget that the reason that she can hear Grumpy Cat is because she made a wish from a magical Santa's coin.
Hell yeah. I forgot that's
that would
why.
give her a friend. Yeah.
Or you could just boil it down to she can hear this cat because she has literally no friends.
Literally no friends. And or is possibly insane, which her mom, by the end of the movie, is like, okay, so my daughter's crazy because she hears a cat talk. But... But as you should always do when you meet someone who may not be in the same reality as you are, you always just yes and them.
Yes.
Unless you're a medical professional, then I'm sure you do other things.
Who cares about medical professionals? I don't listen to them, brother. So I don't have personalized ads on YouTube and whatnot. I just I don't need them. So we get the same ads all the time. And right now on YouTube, there's one of a bunch of doctors saying like, hey, you trust us. We're doctors. And as a doctor, I urge you to get the COVID vaccine. I so badly want to parody that of like, it's in black and white. They're on a stage, and the first one says, hey, as a doctor, I'm urging you to get the vaccine. And then the next person would be me, and I'd say, but as a patriot, and it would say like James McCollum, MD. I'd say, but as a patriot, don't touch this stuff.
I love it. That would be super fucking funny. You should do it.
Hell yeah. It's
but
for
as a patriot.
There's also there was this hey, I'm Lonnie from Lonnie's Quick Cuts here in Chicago, Illinois. Get the COVID vaccine. There are so many that Nicole and I just know at least minimum the first 6 seconds, because if we can skip it, we do. But yeah. Speaking on this girl, she has zero friends, so much so that when she tries to, even if these are the mean girls, they are very mean to her. And
They're so fucking mean.
She's like, hey, but also not even just mean, you clearly tell they want nothing to do with her, because they're walks up to them, there's 3 of them, and she's like, hey, we have 5th period together. And they're like, get out of here, you nerd. What do you think? We want to be smarter? Get the fuck out of here.
Marry rich, girls.
I do like when the pet store owner is just doing a press conference. Also, it's $1 million dog that you're just leaving in a basic ass mall with a very incompetent security guard. And
yeah, that security guard who literally at one point in the movie says, was I profiling that kid? Yes. But did it work?
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, man. There's a very funny scene with him, but he's not why it's funny. One of my favorite scenes is with this guy. But this man who owns it is doing a press conference, and the TV's there, and oh my God, we forgot to even mention the other plot point, but he's like, hey, do you want to see him run? And it's why would people just want to see this dog run?
You guys want to see how fast it can go?
Well, it's on a leash and me next to it. It's not going to run fast. So
unless you're letting the dog go, in which case you're not handling $1 million very well.
Yeah. So there is one very out of touch thing about this movie in what is a cartoon, but the other plot point, because coming down during this press conference are these 2 rock and roll musicians who are yeah, we just signed a huge record contract. In 2014, rock and roll, unless you're Imagine Dragons and 21 Pilots, no one is touching. And for the most part, 21 Pilots has a nice hip hop vibe to them, I think. I've only heard maybe 2 songs from them, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah, that's around their basis.
Yeah, so that is very out of touch, and they're like, hey, one's a bassist with fat fingers, and then the other looks so much. Do you watch WWE at all?
Yes.
He looks so much like The Edge.
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Hell
how
yes.
much he looked like the Edge. I haven't heard the Edge talk in like years, but I was like, is that just the Edge? Just for, like from how he was talking? I miss the Edge.
I think he's back wrestling, but man, that dude is hot as fuck still.
I agree. But also, real quick, I don't think they actually had a huge deal. I think they were just lying.
Oh no, yeah,
they were
yeah.
lying. Yeah, they were trying to case the jewels,
Yes.
but they were disappointed that their most expensive one was only 8,000.
I mean, cumulatively, if you were to get all of those, you would still make out with probably, even on you have to sell it at a marked down price because it's on, the black market or just pawning shit.
Right.
You're probably still going to get maybe 50 grand.
I was gonna say probably anywhere around 20 grand.
Okay. But there's a lot of rings in there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cumulatively, throw that up on the bay,
Still, that's not. I mean, at least to me, I'm not rich, but 20 grand's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Also, I guess maybe not if it's split 3 ways. That dude was trying to buy a houseboat when he retires.
Oh yeah, that's true. The security guard.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: the security guard's the villain.
Yes.
Second time.
So we kind of jumped the gun. This girl's super sad. Her mom's like, please fucking make any friend whatsoever. She sits down and this random Santa is like, what's up, bro? But he's a cool Santa. And there's a double-sided bench. He's on the other side. And he's like, what's up, girl, Crystal? And how he crawls over that bench to get to sit on her side is so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I was also going to bring up, though, that Jay, during this time, was like, yo, are we just forgetting about stranger danger at this point?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, this was a girl by herself being approached by someone granted, it is like, ooh, it's probably the real Santa, but also that is a person in a costume.
What I think is the reason for that is she is friends with all the people who work at the mall. And if he's like, hey, I work at the mall as well, I think it isn't so much stranger danger as, hey, this is just another coworker.
Right. Because she, it is in the movie, they were like, oh, yeah, she works at the pet store, even though she's not paid.
Yeah.
She just kind of helps out around the mall.
But she's paid at the end, bro.
Heck yeah.
He also so he gives this magical coin to her and he's like, hey, make a wish. I got this magical coin from wishingwells.co.uk.nz.com. And I was like, writers, the production isn't good. Lifetime's not going to know this reference. Just throw in a .tor. That would have been fucking funny.
That would have been hilarious and also a little alarming.
On at Vivid Seats, I would always joke to the IT. I would be like, hey man, can I get Planescape or Baldur's Gate installed on my computer? And they'd be like, no. And then one time I was like, yo, can I get fucking Tor browser on here? And they're like, absolutely not. Don't even joke about that, James.
Yikes. I felt like there was one cool IT guy at Vivid Seats, and then the rest of them were weirdly douchebags for some reason.
In my experience, all of them were pretty cool, but the main dude was super cool.
You think so?
Yeah.
I only had, cool, fine. I'll subside. I only had a few interactions with them.
But maybe I didn't have enough interactions with him. I don't know. But she now can hear Grumpy Cat because she goes in and hears her side remarks thinking no one else can hear her besides the other pets in the store. And she's like, what? And she confronts Grumpy Cat and she's like, I can hear you. And she's like, no, you can't. And she's like, yes, I'm clearly responding to you. And Grumpy Cat says, what are you, some kind of blonde witch? And then just keeps calling her a witch.
I love Grumpy Cat as Aubrey Plaza. I don't think this movie would have been half as enjoyable if it wasn't Aubrey Plaza calling a little girl a witch all the time.
I'm trying to think of any other actresses at that time who could have projected the same energy.
Elliot Page.
Oh,
I feel like could have done it. Just because his performance in Juno is the one that specifically that I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Or in Hard Candy, motherfucker.
I forgot about Hard Candy. That is such a good movie.
There was a time when Hard Candy and 13 were amongst the female population of my middle school. All of them were watching those, so I have seen both, probably in a double feature.
God, I want to rewatch Hard Candy.
13's also good, I think.
I don't think I've seen 13.
Guys, this existed. 13.
Here we are.
I'll see the life I wish I had lived, a teenage girl.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, this is my pick for actress who could, because she can play fucking anything. The queen of acting, no matter what the role, Scarlett Johansson.
I unironically thought Scarlett Johansson at one point, and I was like, no, she's had enough roles. I feel like Scarlett Johansson is like the Chris Pratt now of the acting world, just where it's like we need to give someone else these roles for a little bit,
or just like, hey, if someone wants like a woman who is white, you can absolutely do that. Anything else should probably go to someone else.
Yeah.
During this, I was like, man, has Grumpy Cat ever meowed? And there is a video, if you just search Grumpy Cat meowing on YouTube. The real Grumpy Cat account does have one of Grumpy Cat meowing while like walking through. Man, Grumpy Cat is so tiny and cute. Walking through Arizona faunery. That's very cute. But there's also one of their owner petting her like chest and tummy. Oh, it's so cute, guys. Please look at that video.
Are any of the owners in the movie?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any cameos from them. But at this time, she's like, oh, I got Grumpy Cat. I need to figure out what the hell is going on. I need to find this Santa Claus who gave me this wishing coin. She goes and there's the regular Santa's there, and he's like, there wasn't another Santa here. You got stranger dangered, kid. But there are two.
You got stranger dangered? Oh, no.
There are two twins sitting in tandem on Santa's lap and sometimes talking in sync. And it is one of the most baffling things in this movie.
It's weird because she like so much pretends that they're not there, and they are just tearing her apart.
Yeah.
Like
she's
calling her an
used to
idiot and everything.
She's used to it.
Oh my God.
So we'll jump forward. It's the end of the day. She's like, oh man, Grumpy Cat. I got to go see Grumpy Cat again. They're at this party, but she's like, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom or whatever. Sneaks out, goes to the mall, has the key. So she goes in. She's like, Grumpy Cat, what's up? But then, she hears someone coming in the pet store as well. It is those two rockers coming to take shit out. But first, before they get to that, or maybe a little bit after, they go and tie up the security guard, and they like come in and they're like, hey, fucking security guard. And he's like, what? And then he reaches for his like gun or something, or his billy club, and they're like, don't try that. And then the other one says, yeah, Paul Blart, and just smashes a full sub sandwich out of his hand. And it's one of the funniest things in here.
Honestly, the Rockers also did a very good job at carrying this show.
Yeah.
They were just hilarious almost every second that they were on screen, especially the bass player.
Yes, the bass player also. So they steal the dog and then go to their car. And the one who looks like the Edge, the singer, is like, where's my keys? Where's my key? And they're like, the bass player goes, dude, you screwed up. He's like, well, we both screwed up because we need to get this dog out of here. And the guy, he's like, you want to know what? Stop making fun of me, singer, the Edge. Because you want to know what? I'll start my own band and call it Tail of the Dragon. And he's like, you can't do that. My band's called Dragon Tail. And he's like, oh, well, I illegal zoomed it today. And then without a beat, turns around towards the car and goes, and just dead punches it with a whole fist and then breaks his hand.
Bro, these records were literally everything to me. It's like weird because like towards the end of the movie, like the singer like is like very clearly coming off as the brains for a little bit. But then like he just like kind of like dumbs down out of nowhere. When the low-key, spoiler alert, the real villain, the security guard, is revealed.
Corey, that's the third time you've alerted that spoiler. It's
Maybe
already
they missed
been
it the first time.
They had to take their earbuds out to say like, yeah, I'll actually have the 2 bean and cheese burritos and you want to know what? Throw on the Cinetwists, then put them back in.
The Cinetwists. That's my new band name.
It can't be, dude. But no, it's not.
Yeah,
you want to know what? Actually, we haven't had this conversation yet. You left me high and dry for Blades Giving. So much so that I put in a new Blades thinking you were going to be there. I put in a new Blades Giving tradition of like, hey, it's going to be a long weekend. What's the coziest game to just settle down to? The Gobbler Bit Beast, Gobbler himself, he wants you to play Kingdom Hearts.
Listen. I had to take care of the J.
I also bought, because I also thought Corwin was going to come. However, he put a thumbs up just in the chat to get it out of his like unread red, which you can just like mark something as read. You don't need to like go in there. So I thought, oh man, a few of my friends are coming. I bought so much pizza and now it's just in the freezer.
James, I would never normally do that to you, my guy. I'm sorry.
There was one other thing where I was like, ooh, that's my new band name. You just listen to the episode, Lil Corey.
Okay.
You have the RSS link.
I do.
But the main character, the actress is Megan Carpentier. It's the luckiest actress in the world because luckiest actor in the world because she just gets to hold Grumpy Cat so fucking much.
So fucking much. Grumpy Cat looks comfortable all the time during it.
There are many times when and I'm glad they didn't, there are many times you can tell that it's not Grumpy Cat, it's a cat double. Anytime when like Grumpy Cat is being even just like tossed slightly or like set down because Grumpy Cat has dwarfism, I believe her legs were not the best.
Right. They I'm pretty sure Grumpy Cat, or at least cats with dwarfism, have a hard time getting around just because of how little their legs are able to move. So I'm glad that they stunt doubled it up so much for the cat. But I'm not so happy about one of the stunt doubles in this.
What?
It's all the way at the end. Do you want me to bring it up right now?
Is it in regards to the driving scene?
Yeah.
Because I read people like in the goof section of IMDb, but you go for it.
So there's a scene right at the end where the main character, like this, I don't know, she's like 14 or 12. She's a 12-year-old girl. She has to drive an actual car.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they do like an action shot of a car where they have to zoom out and like show the car driving, it is so very clearly not a small girl, but like a whole ass grown man in a baseball cap driving the car.
They also just have a puppet of Grumpy Cat like taped to the dashboard. There is also a goof that I noticed when, like, this is way in the beginning when the mom is talking to the elf boy. They're sitting down at a restaurant or a food court, and every single shot that goes back to the guy, the plate of his food with like a turkey sandwich on, French fries, and like a dipping sauce is constantly rotating and sometimes doesn't have the sauce on it and sometimes does.
Oh, God. I need to go back and look at that. I love continuity error.
Yeah. There was also an egregious 80-yard line where the clerk who works at the pet store was just like saying something to an old lady right in the beginning, and his mouth was just straight up not moving.
Oh, shit.
But at this point in the film, the robbers, the rock and roll dudes, they're aware that someone has stolen the key, so they're on the prowl for them. And this woman, child, she goes into a sports store, and I was like, oh, fuck, if this had turned into Chopping Mall and she just like gets guns out and like Molotov cocktails and just starts shooting at these dudes, it would have been fucking nuts.
Close. She got a paintball gun and started shooting at these dudes.
Have you ever seen Chopping Mall, Lil Corey?
No, but it sounds like the kind of shit that I'd be into.
Dude, you need to watch Chopping Mall. It's just one of the cheesiest, like campiest, most batshit horror movies from the 80s.
Hell yeah, dude, I'm down.
It's on like Prime and stuff, I believe. There's ways to watch it for free. It might even be on Shudder as well.
I'll check it out.
Hell yeah, bitch.
Should watch Terrifier.
No, I'm never watching that. Have you ever seen The Greasy Strangler, Lil Corey?
No, that sounds awful though.
No, it's you think it's not, but like how they do the grease, it isn't disgusting. It is so funny and well made, but also batshit. It's like rated R Tim and Eric.
Okay.
So check that out, guys.
Rated R Tim and Eric. Is Tim and Eric not already rated R?
Oh, I mean, like more like they're rated R because it's
they're like silly rated R.
Yeah,
because they have themes in it. But this is like rated R because they destroy bodies.
Yes, gotcha. Tim and Eric is rated R because it's men with nipples out milking themselves.
Right.
Have you ever seen Diarrhea? That bit that they did.
I feel like I have. I've seen a lot of Tim and Eric bits. They were so scattered throughout my life that they're not like cohesively rememberable. Unless I've rewatched them 5 million times, like Celery Man.
It's like a 12-minute bit of them doing a like presentation for a high school class, and they're just like they have these skin suits on and just like huge testicles like sewn to them, and they're just like diarrhea, 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 and then through the middle of it, they like I think have like those like big squirt gun things that you like pump water out, but it's full of like brown liquids, and they're just squirting it on these teens sitting down and not reacting at all. I watched that with an ex's mother, and she's like, what the fuck is this? Why did you guys make me watch this?
Adult Swim in like the early to late 2000s was on a whole other level.
Yeah. I think Adult Swim's always been good.
I struggle to think of a time when Adult Swim didn't at least have one good show that I liked. I think like the early 2010s, Adult Swim was probably at its lowest point for me.
I think when like Assy McGee in that kind of transition period, once like C-Lab stopped, like they're like, oh, we have money now. Let's start bringing in some new stuff. It kind of got a little weirder. And then it kind of picked up steam a little. Yeah.
With its like acquisition of like some of the like better shows.
But at this point, we find out that, security guard is evil.
After he gives a pretty good motivational pep talk to the girl, because she like she runs in and frees him, and she tells him about all of her parent troubles, and her mom and dad's divorce and everything. And he's like, well, you know that they both still love you. They just, sometimes adult life can be pretty confusing and blah, blah, blah. And he like really like helps her through, this pretty emotional, pretty big emotional trauma that she could deal with. And like, generally helps her. And then he's like, anyway, so where'd you leave the burglar's keys?
And then his phone rings, and she's like, hey, you said you didn't have your phone. Let's just call the police now. And then instead of pretending to call the police and get her off his back, he just says, I can't do that. I'm actually on the inside of this shit.
But like the way he does it, like, too, real quick, can we just talk about like how creepy he gets for a second?
Oh, yeah.
He just like deadpans and stares her in the eyes, and he's like, we're not calling the police. And I was like, did this just turn into a horror movie?
Yeah, and then he ties her up in the pet store and he's like, hey, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not a monster that would hurt a child. I'm a monster who would strangle a cat with a, like, handicap.
Right? He's like, I'm going to murder Grumpy Cat.
This cat can't even, like, jump off from a chair. And I'm going to kill it with my bare hands.
So, you know, the movie gets, like, surprisingly dark for a second. But, like, at this point, I think, like, Grumpy Cat gives a somewhat realism-based pep talk about how, you know, life sucks sometimes, but it's about finding people that give it meaning for it to have meaning and shit like that. And they enlist the rest of the talking pets in the store to help thwart these robbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think really it consists of them kind of beating up the security guard a little bit. A dog bites like the security guard's crotch.
Yeah.
And like rips a hole in his pants. And Crystal, I think her name's Crystal. Is that the kid's name? Okay, Crystal like
Crystal
hits him in the face with a pooper scooper. And like after they like all take their respective turns beating this guy up, he's just like, this I don't need any of this. And then he just walks out with the dog. And everyone was like, yeah, we did it. What did that accomplish?
I really like how this motivational speech from Grumpy Cat starts, because Crystal is just crying and she's like, I need you, Grumpy Cat. You're my only friend. It's so hard to make friends and everyone's always betraying me. So-and-so. And I don't even think the security guard was ever my friend. And just with perfect comedic timing, he goes from off screen, goes, nope, never was.
Yeah. Everyone actually, that's what I was going to say. This movie could have so easily been bad, but everyone just leaned into the meme so much that it just all came together.
And I think that this was casted well because the people who needed to be funny, or let me rephrase this, the people who weren't good were not in the movie a lot.
Right.
Mainly
That's
the
true.
mom and the elf. I didn't like them.
Yeah, it felt very much like you were watching two people trying to act.
But I think this was done on purpose because all these holiday movies are about two people falling in love. You know, one's divorced, one's just, I want to love you so bad. How can I overcome your trust issues?
Right.
And like, they're like, no, we're not giving you that movie. We're giving you this cat who is adorable being almost murdered by the hands of a mall blart.
A mall blart. Yeah. So they like chase out, they get into the Camaro. I absolutely love that as they're about to speed through the doors, the girl pulls a perfect dead stop, gets out, opens the doors with the handicap button, and then drives right through.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I was like, hey, girl knows the budget. And then like it breaks the fourth wall. Grumpy Cat says, hey, we had all the intention to do this. However, budget wouldn't let us. And Nicole goes, yay, you knew, James. Before they start driving, like Grumpy Cat starts revving the engine and Crystal comes up and is like, Grumpy Cat, how are you doing this? And Grumpy just goes, do not question this. We're in a fucking movie, dude.
We're in a movie. You can't have. I think, like, once again, it comes up again. Grumpy Cat just screams about the absurdity of the situation that we are in a movie.
Yeah. Literally says we are in a movie.
Yeah.
And then we get them like going around and then they end up doing a chicken, like this child and these three elderly men compared to her. Also, she says like you're an old Santa Claus to that like first that dude was probably 26 years old. He is not old. He just had a white beard.
To the magical Santa Claus.
Yes,
guy?
that dude was not old. He's probably
No, he
younger
was
than
not
I
at all.
am right now. But they do this chicken thing, and she's like, Grumpy, why did I let you talk me into this? Like a cat told her to do this. The next thing she's like, a cat told me to strangle my mother with that orgasm intensifier she had on. It was just despicable.
I hate that you brought this up again.
Sharna would be so proud, a thing you are unaware of this reference. Unless you know Sharna. Do you know Sharna?
I don't know Sharna.
An IO Improv Olympic head. So they go into this chicken, and then the guys veer off, crash into this very cheaply made toll booth attendant thing where like the arm would go up on parking, and then Grumpy Cat says, hey, cut the feed real quick. We did have the budget to destroy this very cheaply made booth. But Grumpy is launched into a Christmas tree, and like she picks up Grumpy and she's like, Grumpy, talk to me, and just meow, meow, please, Grumpy, I just need, you're my only friend. I need you to talk to me. And I say, Nicole's sitting in the other room, I was like, this is what you would say if I died. And she's like, what? Why? Why would you say that, James?
Poor Nicole.
And then we get like her mom's there with the elf, and this is where we get the line, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so glad you're safe. Did they do anything bad to you? And then Grumpy says the line, hey, that's a different kind of Lifetime movie.
Yeah, where once again, me and Jay like shared a respective look of what the fuck.
Hell
like,
yeah,
at
brother.
That line. That was just like so out of left field.
I loved it. I truly do earnestly enjoy this movie. I think it's great. They live happily ever after. She gets to adopt Grumpy Cat, or Grumpy Cat adopts her. And
both.
I wish this had a sequel. My guess is it was too hard on Grumpy Cat, like the actual like tartar sauce.
Right.
And for that, I'm glad it didn't happen. But I think there should be a Grumpy Cat cartoon. Why not?
Yeah, I think that would do well, to be honest.
Cheers!
Then again, it's so past the meme at this point. I feel like people would stick their noses up at it.
I think in like 5 years it'll be like nostalgic, and then they could do it. Well, Lil Corey, out of 5, if you had a letterboxd, out of 5 stars, what would you rate this?
I'd give this a solid 4.
Hell yeah, dude! Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think you would throw this at like maybe every other Christmas? This might go in your rotation.
Honestly, probably. It's better than most of the Hallmark movies I watched.
I do wish they had done this in like a snowy climate, but you know, it's had not a big budget, so they probably couldn't do it.
Yeah. Also global warming.
That too. My buddy, or our buddy, you know, he's on Marshland Media, Sean Marciniak. He was like super gemmed. He's like, yeah, man, Buffalo, Hallmark is like building studios there to just make Christmas movies in Buffalo. And at first I was like, oh no, Sean's going to move back and start becoming a professional actor there around family. But at least so far, he's still getting work here in Chicago, paying them bills. So we got him for at least another, hopefully, 7 years.
Another 7 years? Let's go.
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years. 7 more years. 7 more years. That's what I was chanting January 6th.
Really?
No, of course not.
I know. I just every time I think about that time, my brain does a whole mental jumping jack.
That's crazy that happened this year. This year flew by.
Yeah, it really did, to be honest. I remember still stressing and just sitting there being like, I don't want anyone to ever talk to me about the election because I will vomit out of anxiety.
Yeah. Who'd you vote for?
What do you think I voted for? The only other person there was.
Comatose Horrorcore Legend was on our show, and just like as a dumb James question to someone who I've only met once when I was 17 years old, I just go, who'd you vote for, Coma? And I was like, please do not answer that. But that's this movie. Do you have any more notes, any thoughts, comments?
I wish Aubrey Plaza would punch me in the face.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Lil Corey, you ever play Animal Crossing?
I've never played Animal Crossing.
Oh, you've
I just have
never?
a crush on Anka.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Man, it's insane that the pandemic like created just the perfect storm for Animal Crossing, and like Nintendo just made hand over fist money. And you want to know how they would have made more to capitalize on that?
How, James?
They could have localized the Animal Crossing full-length movie, which that's what we're watching next week, because guess what? That's something no one in America, the United States, I should say, knows exist. I've been James.
What?
Yeah.
I've been Corey.
And if you want a link to that, I will send you a link to download it in high quality, listeners, so you can be up to date. For real, it's a full-length movie. I'm super excited. I'm glad I will be.
I'm kind of jazzed for it.
It's so good. Like, I, at the time, never played Animal Crossing. I would just watch Nicole play it. And watching it, I was like, oh, I get the feeling of what Animal Crossing is. It's such a cozy movie. I'm excited to watch it again.
Is Anka in it?
Probably. I was going to say instead, like I had pre-written and thought out the like, hey, have you ever played Animal Crossing? I will get ready to watch, or how they could have capitalized. I was going to say, well, Lil Corey, get ready to nut next week because we're watching Animal Crossing, the movie.
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, tell Jay that you will be masturbating to next month's movie.
I don't think I want to tell Jay that.
Well, she'll listen to this. She has the RSS link.
That's true.
All right, guys. I've been James.
I've been Corey.
And we'll see you next month, baby.
Well, bye.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.